Headlines, trends, weather and travel getaways. It's Wake Up World on CEMTV.
A very good morning to you and welcome to the online trend segment of CEMTV's Morning Pulse. I am Emmanuel Tamuno Tenari, and of course to our Muslim faithful out there, happy Eid al-Mulid. I do hope you are enjoying your public holiday. And of course, we celebrate with you. CEMTV celebrates with you. And of course, Nigeria celebrates with you. We encourage one Nigeria under God. And of course, I'm not doing this alone. I have with me Vera Philip this morning. Vera, how are you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing great. I'm happy that we're celebrating today. And I'm hoping that there's somewhere where there is Salah meat or something.
I mean, for sure now. Yeah, as I was coming to work, I reached out to some of my Muslim brothers and sisters and I said, look, you guys know what's up now. They were like, no worry when you come back. So I'm expecting some celebration with my Muslim brothers and sisters.
You need to plug me in because I need part of this celebration as well. I need to unwind somewhere. But anyways, good morning once again and welcome to Trends right here of the Morning Pulse segment. My name is Vera Philip. It's lovely to be here once again.
Exactly. And today we have quite a bit to talk about. A lot is trending on social media. So much is trending. But of course, the one that is on the lip of every Nigerian on the social media axis is the recently concluded Nigeria Bar Association Annual General Conference. And let's just say there was a lot said. There was a lot debated. There was a lot that was shared. And of course, we had the likes of presidential candidate for the NDC, Peter Obi, and of course, the ongoing conference, rather. There was a lot said, and we had the likes of Peter Obi there. We had the likes of Rotimi Amechi there. We had the likes of Showore there as well. And each individual, they share their takes. They share their, facts and statistics. And basically, from what Showore had to say, there was a lot. He said a lot, and we'll show you a bit of what he said during that conference.
If there's anyone who has been consistent about non-removal of fuel subsidy, it has been me. And it took Amechi and his principal almost 10 years to catch up with me. They have now reversed their position on fuel subsidy. The question about subsidy is, who are you subsidizing? You are subsidizing the elite, you are subsidizing the governors. The only people who are doing well since they removed subsidy are the governors of states. And when they talk about subsidy, they make it sound like they have not removed subsidy before. The poor people of this country only benefit from subsidy from petrol, gasoline. There is no subsidy on kerosene. What did they build with it? There is no subsidy on A1 jet fuel. What did they build with it? Nothing. Please, don't let these politicians lie to you. I love one thing that Amechi said. He said, apart from Showore and Adebayo, the rest of us have been in government and we have failed. There are no people coming back.
He basically said that the subsidy did not benefit the common man, in essence. And I think that was what we pointed out yesterday, Vera. There were better ways it could have been done. There were, methods or would I say efforts that could have been put in place to cushion the effect of removing the subsidy, and but those were not taken. And of course, with the rapid hike of the cost of petrol, it increased the cost of transportation and the overall cost of living. So Vera, do you think what he said there was valid, or do you think it's just another tantrum that is being thrown, honestly?
Well, when it comes to politicians who of course have interest in this particular political seat, which is of course the office of the presidency, I will always say most of their standpoints come from a political point of view. But the fact that it comes from a political point of view does not also mean that it might not be what the masses are going through, or it might not be the truth. The truth is, we've had the conversation about the fuel subsidy. We obviously had it yesterday, and we talked about how the fuel subsidy has not been beneficial to the common man, because again, as much as it might transform to economic growth, it has not gone down to the grassroots. There is nothing that the grassroots will be able to say that, oh, this is what fuel subsidy has done for me. Well, because what it has done is increase the price of fuel, thereby increasing the price of transportation, and thereby increasing the price of every other thing from goods to services. As we established yesterday, transportation is the basis. You know, so if I'm buying something and I'm going to pay transport from here to there, I'm going to add that to what it is that I'm buying. So when that transportation increase, best believe that my price will also increase as well. So these are the conversations that we've had. He also talked about kerosene subsidy,
Jet
and
A1
how
fuel,
it wasn't included, and it begs the question, because kerosene is quite expensive. You know, it's even more expensive than fuel itself. So you're wondering, if a subsidy was not removed from kerosene, why do we still have kerosene very expensive? So those conversations need to be had. You know, it's good that we have political leaders, or politicians who want political seats, who are actually thinking beyond the box, and of course trying to create solutions, or maybe even trying to, punch loopholes in the present administration. But aside trying to punch loopholes, can we also create solutions? What are the possible solutions, that we think should be implemented? Someone like Showore, he talks big, obviously. He criticizes the government and all of that, but he's also, wanting the political position. He wants the presidency seat as well. So if aside trying to find holes in the current administration, what is it that you plan to do differently when you come to power? And it wasn't only him. We had to speak yesterday at the NBA. We had Peter Obi as well, and other officials talk at the and they all, I think at the end of the day, the subsidy conversation was one of the conversations that was of interest, especially to the social media page. And so we are just hoping that these conversations transcend rather into what solutions can be brought to book when we are talking about these problems.
Now, there was something, Omoyele Sowore made several statements, and he kept judging by their mistakes and their failures. And Rotimi Amaechi said one thing. He said, judge us by our achievements, judge us by our successes. Do you think Nigerians are a bit too harsh, always judging the government of the day or the past government based on their failures? Because, I mean, they did state that they had achievements, and we actually have a video of Amaechi, saying his achievements and saying things that were achieved, things that were done in his regime, things that were built, things that were established, and he was cementing that fact that they should be judged based on past achievements and not only based on past failures. And here's what Amaechi had to say.
Who are those from Lagos? There is Lagos Ibadan Railway is working or not? In my time, it was working. I don't know what's happening under Tinubu. There is Abuja Kaduna Rail working or not?
What happened to the one?
Now, where are Rivers lawyers? Please take Showore around. Where are the Rivers lawyers who are present? Take Showore around.
Okay.
Showore, I said I built that road. I built this road. I built this primary school. I built that primary school. Showore, what is your experience?
All right, Governor.
When politicians are talking, close your mouth.
Yes. You have a right of reply. Yes. You have the floor.
I am an avid believer of judging, especially a government that you want to rule you, because I'm an avid believer of judging them based on their failures. Because when you start looking at the things they missed, you begin asking the questions of why did they miss them? What happened that made them miss them? And when you start asking those questions, it'll inadvertently point you to the other things they were focusing on that made them miss this particular project. Let's say in your community, you have bad roads, and then you ask, why didn't the government fix this road? What were they doing that took their mind away from this road? And then the government will come out and say, oh no, it's because we're focusing on this, focusing on that, focusing on this, focusing on that. And if that inadvertently affects the well-being of that community or the general populace. There's okay, I noticed it though. That electricity, this thing they worked on, it brought power to my neighborhood. Sure, our road is not good, but our power issue was resolved. This thing they worked on, it reduced the cost of, you know, transportation. The road is not that good though, but at least transportation is less expensive. You know, I think judging by the failures will inadvertently lead to judging by their successes. But I can understand where he's coming from, because when you specifically look at only the failures, it then seems as though the failures are so much, they accumulate so much, that as though they never did anything to begin with.
Okay, I'm going to start with this that says bad news travel faster.
Very true. Bad news travels faster.
Aside from the fact that bad news travel faster, anything it is that you do that is negative, that's what's going to spread faster than the positive. If I tell you that I've hacked that theory, I'm lying. But you know, it's a reality of life. Like, you can do 99 good, the very one thing you do bad, that's what's going to get seen. That's what's going to get recognized. That's why people always urge, or that's why you'd always be urged to be at your best 100%, because you don't know the time and day
exactly.
that, you know, anything could go wrong. And saying that is to say that, you know, when it comes to achievements, be it as a person or even trying to rate political leaders, we're always going to want to look at the bad things that they've done.
Very true.
I think that it comes to a point, especially when we are trying to be intentional about who our next leader is. Aside looking at their failures, it's important that we put side by side their failures and of course their wins as well, their successes as well. But of course, it takes intentionality to do that, and that's why I say, as a country, if we can come together and be intentional about what we want in 2027, we can achieve that. We can be able to place side by side, you know, politicians' success and their failures, and see, okay, which of it, you know, determines who can really govern the nation. Because if we are being honest, governing a state is really not the same thing as governing an entire country like Nigeria. We have a lot, we've been backward, we have a lot of work to do. We need to like replace ourselves or take ourselves back to being the giant of Africa, because we've lost that long time ago. You know, taking ourselves there is a lot of work. So the fact that you've governed a state, one state, especially a peaceful state for that matter, you know, cannot in any way transcend into you becoming the president of the country. But however, your trademark or whatever it is you've done, your footprint definitely will speak for you and put you at an advantage.
Exactly, it would be a star to your crown. It would be good
for you to be able to do other things. So at the end of the day, this is to say that as a nation, we need to be intentional about placing side by side our political leaders' failures alongside their wins, so that we can be able to pick at during the 2027 elections who it is that whose failure is minimal enough for us to go with, you know, whose wins is it that was very intentional, that, you know, did a lot of good, especially when we're talking long-term good for their state or even for Nigeria.
Or even for Nigeria in general. Well, we're going to round up with this story of a Nasarawa lawmaker who is calling for transparency and accountability because he gave out several palliatives to this medical facility, to this hospital, but turns out that allegedly those items were sold. So here's a bit of that video.
Doctor, you remember the last time I spoke with you about those orthopedic mattresses? You remember what you told me? This man, do you know me? That's why they get the second I care under the ceremony. Don't allow me to be very upset with you. Why are you lying to me? How can you tell me, oh, this is the mattress I bought? Can I show you the mattresses I bought? I bought it for my people. Where is the ceiling fans? Where are the ceiling fans? I bought more than 50 ceiling fans. The standing fan, I bought about 40. Where are they?
50 brand new ceiling fans, 40 standing fans, and 50 orthopedic mattresses. And you could see his reaction as to when he was talking to the man, and the man told him that these are the mattresses you purchased, and he said, no, those are not the mattresses. Should I show you the mattresses? You know, I do hope that this call for accountability will not only end in Nasarawa state, but of course will extend to the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a whole, because we need more movements like this, a call for accountability, a call for transparency. Because a lot of things are going on. Money is being spent that should not be spent. Money is being kept that should not be kept. And money is being said to have been spent, but the results are nowhere to be seen. Hopefully we'll see a change come the 2027 elections because the government needs to be held accountable. Well, that's the most we can take on the online trends this morning. Stay tuned with us because coming up next will be the newspaper review, and coming after that will be Francis Oyema Edit and Wingwa Bariswa to bring you CEMTV News Dissect. Don't go anywhere. I am Emmanuel Tamino Tenari. Stay tuned.